This episode of Cello Chat is brought to you by Carriage House Violins of Johnson String Instrument. Please visit us at www.carriagehouseviolins.com.
All right, and we're live.
Hello, everybody.
All right. Did you have any thoughts about your current topic for today?
Yes, I can start now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So maybe it sounds like very deep subject. It's just that I think it takes like many years to find an answer to this question about how can I find my interpretative voice. As a generality, classical musician often interprets the works of others, but you can still bring your own artistic voice. Your phrasing, dynamics, tempo choices, and ornamentation, for example, for early music, allow for your personal expression. And over the time, these interpretative choices will become the hallmark of your identity as a musician. I say musician because, the cello is just a way to do it. But at the end, we are all a musician, not only cellist. So one of the first things, maybe the hardest, is to stay true to yourself, in my opinion. Ultimately, at the end, your musical identity as a classical musician will emerge through a combination of practice, performance, and personal expression. Embrace what feels authentic to you, whether it's a particular composer, emotional style, or a modern twist on traditional forms. I think you should not be afraid from experimenting with different interpretation or exploring genres outside of classical music, even if it sounds a bit weird. Every musical experience, whether traditional or unconventional, adds depth to your artistry. Over time, these influences will shape a unique voice that reflects both your technical skills and your personal journey as an artist. Doing things for oneself means giving a deeper meaning to one's artistic approach without trying to please or meet the expectation of others. Music allows for self-expression. It lets us communicate something personal and intimate through notes and nuances. What one chooses to reveal through this expression can be as varied as human emotion. We are all different, so it will depend on you. For my part, just an example, I'm always in search of beauty. I want a beautiful voice, beautiful sound, beautiful musical phrase. For me, that's what touches and uplifts the soul. But everyone has a different vision of what they want to express. Some may seek to convey raw emotions, others a story, or even a complex idea. What matters is that the expression remains true to what one feels deep inside. And it can be hard to express, actually. Also, being present in the moments when you play, even if our minds are constantly racing back and forth. Personally, I have a lot of concentration problems. This allows you to capture the audience's attention. It's by fully experiencing each note that you create an authentic connection with those who are listening. One must also go beyond the purely instrumental aspect. The cello, as I said at the beginning, like any other instrument, is merely a medium, a means, a tool. What matters most is the intention, and emotion conveyed through that tool, as it is that truly resonates with the audience. So this was maybe the most important for me to say. And then there is different way to find your and to express your musical identity. You can incorporate modern or personal influences. You could explore modern composer who blend traditional forms with new techniques, or even brings your own cultural or personal background into your interpretation. Like also new pieces. It can help to carve out a unique space. But this is very like personal. You can also be inspired by different music you're listening to. For example, I'm not listening only classical music. I love it, of course, but I'm listening a lot of different music. So this can be also a way to find your inspiration. Then you need to engage in performance practice. How you present your music can also be part of your identity. Think about how you interact with the audience, your stage presence, and the kind of venues or settings that resonate with you. Some classical musicians thrive in the concert hall, while others prefer more intimate settings. Also, even if sometimes we don't have a really choice of the venues, but still. You can also collaborate and experiment. Collaborating with others musicians, of course. I think when I was a student, long time ago, chamber music lesson was the place where I think I learned the most. You can also collaborate with different genres. It can help expand your sense of musical identity. Donc, chamber music, orchestral work, or even fusion projects with jazz or world musician can offer a new perspective on how you interpret and approach classical music. I know it can be very strange, maybe for some of you, but it's always, I mean, it's always good to not stay in a comfortable situation and to explore a new thing. Sometimes it will not work, but sometimes it can just bring you new ideas. Yes, and I think that it's. I said most of what I wanted to say to you about this topic. I'm open to question or discussion if you want. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, I just see a question. I will read it. Where is it? Sorry. Discuter. Okay, do you have any tips for students who are trying to transition into thinking like an artist? Is there a minimum level of technical skill needed to get that point? Or should thinking like an artist be built from the ground up? It's a very good question. I think, of course, when you are a very, very beginner, maybe it will be, a bit hard because you will be more focused on your technical thing. But in the same time, for example, when you start to practice a new piece, even if you're a beginner, before the artistic way of thinking, of course you need to go through these all technical programs, but I think very early you can already start to think about what do you want to express, what do you want to do with that after. But it can take some time, but maybe also a good idea is to listen a lot of music. Not listen always the same version of the music you are learning, for example, but listen music can really, I think, help for that. I don't know if I answer well to the question, but another question. What genre of music are you currently listening to and drawing inspiration from? Now I'm listening some jazz a bit because I'm practicing now the Claude Bolling jazz cello suite. Of course, it's very classical type of jazz. It's not like a free jazz, but it's an example. It's a different way of for the construction, for example. And also now, because I really like movie music, so I'm also working on a duo with a pianist who is a jazz pianist and also a pop music pianist. He's playing with a lot of singer from pop, not from classical. But it's interesting because, for example, he has the ability for improvisation, which is quite new for me. So I need to learn from that. And of course, it's in a way the movie music, what we played. I mean, technically, it's not difficult as a Haydn concerto, but it asked me to find another way to express. And we did our first concert, for example, last week, and I was thinking, okay, but it will be movie music, it will be nice. I don't need to be nervous. I mean, it's not difficult. But at the end, during the concert, I was thinking, okay, it's true that I don't have a lot to show as technical thing, but indeed, it's like you feel really like naked because you don't have a lot to play, but you need to play really on the right time and with the good style, So yes, this is an example, and I apologize for my English. As a lot of French people, I'm not very very good. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Next question. How many hours a day should one practice? Quality or quantity? Of course, quality. What the question? If you still are students, you're lucky because you have a lot of time for practice, I hope, for you. So you can have both. You can have quality and quantity. But when you become a professional, or even if you do something else, I mean, like me, I don't have a lot of time to practice. I have, but not, I mean, I cannot practice like 8 hours, one day. So I think the most important is to stay regular. I try to practice every day, but I think at least one day during the week I can't because of family, kids, etc. But for me, the real secret is to be regular. Even if you do 2 hours, if you do 2 hours every day, it's already very good. And you need to be really efficient and to know to be focused and to know exactly what you want to practice and how, or you will lose too much time. Next question. what's your thoughts on classical crossover artists like two cello and the piano guys? Yeah, I like two cellos. I think they are good, but I think they are good cellists. First, they have a lot of technical quality for sure. We cannot say no. Of course, if you talk about Hauser, for example, when he plays solo, of course it's it's a character. It's sometimes you can say it's too much because he's doing a lot of in French we say like comédie. But I think that they found a lot of very nice arrangement of music, and I think I'm not against crossover as long as it's well played. And because when you search on YouTube, of course you can find a lot of things, and sometimes like very bad. But I think why not crossover? If you like pop music, if you like not classical music, I mean, we are lucky with the cello because cello is an instrument that allows you to do a lot of different style. So why not? I'm really not against. I like this kind of music too. For me, the most important is always to have the quality, and just to ask yourself why you do that and what do you want to say with your music. And but it's always easier when you do what you like. Alors, a question from Ursula. How does listening to other interpretation help inform your interpretation? But it gives you an idea. For example, when you but there is some music like you have so many versions. But for example, again, Bach suites, or even Haydn concerto, for example. Alors, I think if you listen only one or two interpretation, your brain will register this, and it will be hard then to accept to listen other interpretation. It's why I think it's really important to not stay with one interpretation. And when you listen different, it's very, very interesting because it's how you can realize that there is different tempo, different choices. Often, for example, but I thought it was a forte on this bar, but he's playing like really piano. Why? Oh, this one is playing, he's doing a crescendo. It's not written. Why he doing that? And it's always interesting to listen different choices of interpretation. And of course, otherwise we will all play the same. And it's allow to know what you like and what you don't like. So it will help for sure to make some choice. But then you need to find your own voice, of course. Alors, Nesrin asks, does it help trying to copy any masters? Copy, but it can help for example, fingering. if you feel a bit lost with fingering, but at the end we are all different. So if I don't know, Truls Mark or Rostropovich is doing one fingering and you try to do the same, but it's not working for you, it can happen. I mean, it's not because it's working for someone that it will work for you. So as I just said before, it can help you to know what you like and what you don't like. And also, if you listen one musician, for example, again, Rostropovich, you listen Bach, Schumann, Shostakovich, Haydn, you will also find that, I mean, maybe you will like the Haydn, but you will not like the Bach. Maybe you will love the Shostakovich, but you will not like I don't know, the Schumann. You know, sometimes it's like all music, it's rare to like every interpretation of every style from one person. Yes. Another question from Kuban Media. Do you have a favorite composition or composer? Big question. Composition or composer. I like, it's it's hard. I like Schubert. I like Franz Schubert. Even if he did not really write for the cello, I mean, except chamber music, of course. I think he's one of the composer I really like most of the composition, even for orchestra. Then one composition I also really like a lot is Don Quixote from Strauss, because I think it's really something very like a bit strange and different from others, and it's really talking music, in my opinion. Alors, Love from Across the Pond asks, hi Julie, thanks for doing this cello chat. I'm a new classical music listener. Are there any symphony orchestra you would like to play with? By the way, your English is great. You're nice. Any symphony orchestra you would like to play with, of course. I don't know if you know, but I was playing with as a permanent. I mean, I had a seat in two French orchestra. The first was Orchestre de la Garde Républicaine. It's a military orchestra in France. And then I was working in Opéra National de Paris Orchestra. And I stayed for a few years. And so I already work inside the orchestra too. You know, so because it's different to be in chamber group, music group, inside the orchestra, to play as a soloist with orchestra. All this is very different. But to play as a soloist with orchestra, of course, I did already a lot. And I think this is the thing I prefer to do with chamber music. And yes, I would love to play with any orchestra. I mean, even if it's chamber orchestra, I like it too, because you know, sometimes you have a good close connection with other musicians. And actually, I will play soon the 2 Haydn concerto without conductor, so it will be a bit challenge for me. What is it like to be an artistic director of CoCreate Humanity? Okay, this is a bit different question from the topic, but alors, CoCreate Humanity, it's an association who is working for humanitarian, and I'm just involved with all the musical projects they do to make the association be known. So yes, it's a nice it's not a job, but it's a nice activity. Are there any past projects that you were particularly proud of? Yes, but I mean, you know, each time you're going to be on stage, I'm sure I'm not alone with this feeling. It's always a challenge, and sometimes when it's a big challenge, and for me it's like to play a cello concerto with orchestra. There is always like few minutes before playing, before enter into the stage, and you're thinking, why I'm here, why I'm doing that, and will it be good? Will it be okay? Will I manage to do? And it's like just few minutes just before, and each time when I'm going to the stage, and you know, people are applause, and I start, and always I start to feeling very good, and yes, in a way you can say I feel proud. I mean, but you always like you pride. I think when you finish some because it's so much hours of practicing, years of practicing, that it's always a good feeling when you finish your concert. And of course, when it's a big challenge, for example, last summer I played for the first time Beethoven Triple Concerto. This was a very high challenge because it's technically very difficult music, but so beautiful, so shining music. So I was very happy for that. With such a big workload, how do you avoid burnout and maintain balance? A good question too. Alors, as I say at the beginning, I think if you can, most important is to do what you like. Of course, it can sound a bit like easy to say that. I think even if you do a very stressful practicing, if you have a lot of concerts, or I mean a lot of challenge that are coming, you have to keep always a pleasure, even if it's not a big part of pleasure, but you know, just to always saying, sometimes when I feel like too stressed because I'm thinking, okay, I have this to prepare, oh my god, I have also this, how I will manage to do all on in time. Sometimes I'm thinking, okay, this is cello, this is music. First, I'm very lucky because I do what I like. This is my job. I mean, I'm very lucky. Then, okay, I will play music I like. I'm very lucky for that too. So just relax, and also always think about how many years are you playing your instrument. I mean, be confident about your practicing. Trust in your past, trust in your practicing. And it's normal also to feel stress. I mean, we want to do everything well, but don't be too also, I mean, perfectionist. Because, you know, I know some musicians, when they finish the concert, every time, it was not good. No, it was not good. I'm not happy. I want to say, okay, let's enjoy a bit. I mean, okay, it was not perfect. We never play perfectly. For me, most important is I did the concert. Okay, it was not perfect, but I felt so much pleasure. I think people are happy. Okay, that's already very good. Don't be too proud. I mean, you know. Yes, I think I answer a bit to your question. Do you have any tips for musicians who are forced to do gigs that they are not passionate about to pay the bills? Yeah, I understand that. You know, I am in the same situation too. I mean, nobody play only things. I mean, it's not always perfect gigs, perfect concert with perfect colleagues, other musicians. It's not like this is not life. I mean, sometimes you have to do things you're not so much happy with, because as you as you say, you need to pay the bills. I think in this case, just ask yourself why you're doing, what is the motivation. If just to get some money, okay, that's okay. I mean, that's cool. If you need it, and it will allow you to do later something that you like. But I'm sorry to say that, but that's life. I mean, it's not always great. And I think even for very big musician, I know a big soloist who are traveling over the world every day to do some concerts. I'm sure that sometimes they do concerts they don't want to do, and it's not always a dream. I don't think so. So it's normal. I mean, it's just a question of choices. And always ask yourself, okay, why I am doing that? For what? What is it for? and you will find some answer. And and again, of course, the goal is to do as much as possible great concerts and to have great moments as much as possible. Another question. Love Crumbs the World. The Pond says, thanks, Julie. Hopefully you get to play with Kate Lockhart and the Boston Symphony. I hope to. Okay. Alors, a message from Cello Bello. Many musicians struggle with low self-esteem about their playing. Other musicians struggle with too much ego. Could you speak about what the proper balance is to be a successful artist? Yes, it's very interesting subject, and it made me think about what I said, about this musician who are never happy when he finishes the concert. I just think it's because you can say yes because he doesn't have a big self-confidence, but I think it's because he has too much ego. In fact, because if you have it's okay to how can I say, it's okay to not be happy about what you played. I mean, to say to yourself honestly, okay, I could have been better. I mean, I could have played better this piece, or if you have practiced enough or no. This, if you are honest with yourself, you know it. So if it's a problem with practicing, okay, I did not have practice enough, or I did not practice in the right way, okay. But to want all the time to be to play like a genius, I mean, we are not. We are human, so it's okay to go. I mean, it's okay to want to be a perfection, but we are human. So I think the most important, but it's a personal opinion, is to be happy about the feeling, to be happy about what you manage to say musically, and to be free from the technical problem. This is the most important, I think. So about self-esteem, it's also something you can working on. For example, it's good to play in front of public. If you can, I mean, even just before important concerts, if you have family, friends, you can do it. I mean, you can play in front of them before. It's a good training, and also it made me think about something I wanted to say to you, but I don't find it. I will find it about this idea about self-confidence, which is very, very important. I'm looking for my notes. Yes, I found it. About the inspiration you need to find and to build yourself. I found that to find and maintain inspiration, it's also important to be able to mentally project yourself into the concert hall, with the orchestra, if with the orchestra, with the other members of the group for chamber music, and to put yourself in the right mindset. This is very important also to be more confident. And once you've really worked on accuracy and technique, you need to get into a state as if you're already at the concert. And that's really about mental projection. Yes, that's I wanted to say. Do you have any tips for a young musician for being professional when it comes to concert and collaboration? Any particular behavior to avoid? Respect your chamber music partner. respect others musicians around you, because I think your first concert you will probably share the stage with others. Don't forget to always listen the others musician. This is very important for the collaboration. Young musicians who are coming for the first time inside the orchestra, for example, it's always very hard because you are seated next to cellists who are playing inside the orchestra all the day. They know very well each other, so use the new one, the young one. So I think don't be too shy, because you need to, I mean, if you are here, it's that it means that you are totally able to do it. And in the same time, be always very aware and pay attention, and be also focused about the playing of your colleagues. Try to how can I say that, to really play together with them. But I think it's important to be always in every situation as a musician to open your ears and to listen to others and to yourself, of course. And it's not easy to listen to yourself. Have you ever had a major injury? Do you have any tips for avoiding injuries even with a busy performing schedule? So I'm very lucky. I will touch some wood. I never had injury. And I think maybe the reason is because I'm always trying to playing very relaxed. And when you play a concert that is very long, for example, and when you are stressed and you are also tired, you have a lot of pressure, but you want to do it well. It's of course it's in this way that you can maybe have an injury. So breathe. You need to breathe during you playing. Sometimes when, for example, very good example, Bach, cello suite, Bach, Jean-Sébastien Bach. Cello suite from Bach, it's most of the time it's in this position, first to third, fourth. You don't go really on thumb except for the sixth. So it's for me it's easy to feel a bit to feel tension here, for example. So now that and of course it happens during the concert because when you practice, you are in your room, you're more relaxed. But when it's during the concert, you are very focused and you try to do very well. So there is some tension in your arm. So what I find is really to find places to breathe, but really you need to. It's not like just like this. It's really to breathe, and also even to make a sound. Sometimes, of course, very discreet. you cannot sing during you play, but to do even this. To open here, not stay like this blocked. So this, but for example, if you have to play a Bach cello suite in a concert, don't forget to play it before at home from beginning to the end. And of course, it's also true for all the repertory. If you have a big concerto, even if you have just a sonate or a full piece, I mean, when you practice, always train yourself also to play from the beginning to the end, as if you were already in the concert, to feel how your body will react with that. And it was also about the mental projection I was talking about. If you project yourself like if you were in the in the concert hall, to imagine that there is people in front of you, imagine there is your colleagues or the orchestra behind you, and it's you will create a bit the sensation and the tension that you can have during the concert. How many percent of your time you spend outside cello, or it is impossible? Of course, I I spend a lot of time outside cello. I'm not sure to understand the question. Are you talking about like what I am doing when I'm not practicing the cello or playing concerts? If this is the question, I'm taking care about my kids. I have two. I'm also, when you become professional, unfortunately, it's not just about practicing the cello. It's also to manage all the organization for the concerts, travel, sending 1,000 emails, social media, making some video, make photos. I mean, there is a lot of as I say at the beginning, I think the most important to maintain the level is to be very regular in your practicing and to play as often as possible. I mean, at the beginning, I was more looking for any possibility to play. Because I was thinking, okay, more I play, more I have opportunities to play in front of public, more I will build my experience and become better. And in a way, it's true. I mean, it's not, I mean, of course, you need to choose sometimes. It's not about, okay, I want to play even if it's a horrible gig, even if no, of course, no, you need to choose what is good for you. But sometimes, even if the conditions are not like great or perfect, I'm always happy to play, to have the experience to play, because I think it will learn. I will learn something anyway. So, but it's very personal. Then you need to choose. How was your practicing evolved over the years, or even recently? Is there anything that has surprised you? Yes, I think my practicing evolved in terms of times. I mean, for example, I'm really more efficient when I have less time. I don't know why. Because, for example, if I have a day free and I say, okay, I have all the day to practice, it will be much harder for me to be focused. So I have some problem with the concentration because my mind is always going around. So what I'm trying to do now is when I start to practice, I say, okay, I have 2 hours this morning. So I need to close my phone, otherwise I will be disturbed. It's for sure. Or I will think, okay, I did not respond to this person. Oh, I forget to send this email to this person. So yes, this I think I'm more efficient because I have less time. So I'm trying to be more efficient. Also. Since the COVID period, the confinement, quarantine, I worked a lot with video. I record myself a lot, and this was very efficient for me because it's not at the beginning. It's really not easy to listen to yourself. And when it's with a phone, I mean, the sound is really not good. You're not happy with that, but it's a very good exercise. Alors, it's not about to watch yourself playing like to say, I'm playing like this, I'm beautiful like this. No, it's not about that. Of course, it's to see the gesture. I mean, because sometimes you do something and you don't realize that the gesture is not correct. And also, of course, the sound, how it sounds for the tunes, it's very, very good exercise. Don't do like all the time, but record yourself. It's very, very useful. This changed a lot my way of practicing. Do you still get nervous on stage? Of course. Any tips for musicians struggling with stage fright? As I said, you need to prepare for that. It's totally normal to feel nervous. I mean, you cannot. This cannot disappear. You will be nervous, and it's okay. I mean, everybody's. I think you just need to think. Okay. I'm doing this concert, what will happen at the end? I mean, even if you play not good as you want, it will be okay. I mean, nobody will die. Okay, it's just like take it easy and be trust you're practicing. So if you are very nervous, be prepared for that. So practice maybe a bit more before this important concert, and practice with the mental projection. Also, train yourself before to play in front of people if you are nervous. And sometimes it's not easy to play in front of your family or your friends, but do it before. It's a good training also, because you will feel bad. I mean, you will feel nervous in front of your friends or your family. But at the end, there are people who love you, and so they will, they will have a good spirit during listening to you. So do it, even if it's not comfortable. Do it, and try also to prepare your performance in advance. I mean, don't wait like the last minute. Because it will make you feel more nervous. And of course, don't forget to breathe. There's a lot of logistics that go into every concert. Do you have any tips for how to handle all of the emails and communication required? Yes, of course. If you don't want to feel like full of with your mind like full already at the beginning of your day, do with a priority. This is how I do, and sometimes it's not easy because you know that you have a lot of things to do. The priority, maybe, I think, is to practice your cello if you have an important concert. So you practice. Of course, your priority is your family, if you have a family before. But then you practice your cello. And after, you say, okay, now I will respond to emails, book this train or flight tickets, okay? But you need to organize your day. Otherwise, it will be a mess at the end. And also allow you to have free hours, not the time, but free, like you are free to go to do something else, to watch a movie, to go for a walk, and also to have at least one free day during the week. It's important. I mean, there is no only cello in the life. You need to. I mean, if you want to feel the inspiration, and if you want to have something to say during you play, you need to experiment the life too. Otherwise, it will be a bit sad. So yes, emails, of course, communication. Also, yes, I want to say something about that. Musicians are often like very late to answer, and sometimes it's not very nice for the organization. So always response to emails, even if it's a bit late. I mean, don't forget it. It's important. Don't forget also to communicate about what you're doing. I think even if it's not easy, it's important to do, because if you communicate, people will see, he or she is playing that, or she did that concert. It's not about ego. It's not about, look what I'm doing. It's not about that. It's about people will think that you are doing concert, and maybe then they will call you to do something, you know. I think it's important to show that you are, if you want to play concert, I mean, if you want to do as a job, of course, it's important to show that you are here, you are before. I mean, it's for the generation of, for example, my teachers, it was not the same, of course. It was more about people were talking to get, you know, this person, you know, this person, yes, I will call him. Of course, there is also this kind of networks, but I think it's also important to communicate, and it's a quite new way of communication for musicians. It's but now for the young generation, it will be normal to do that. So don't be shy with this. I think it's normal. Just very important, stay authentic. Don't try to show somebody you are not. I mean, show yourself as you are. I mean, I'm talking about musician aspect, of course. Don't try to show somebody you're not. The question after, it's what I was talking about, how important is social media for young musicians, any tips for making video. Yes, but for the video, I think you don't need to do something too long, because unfortunately now people are not listening, I think, more than 1 or 2 minutes. So you don't need and as I just say, really try to be yourself. You know, when I record a short video for social media, I do it like I'm trying to do as perfect as possible, of course. So it's a very good exercise too for practicing, that I'm playing the same passage like 1 minute, like perfectly. I don't know, I'm trying to do like sometime 50 times until I find the good version. So actually, it's a very good exercise. If one day you have a chance to record a full album, full recording, you will see what is this practicing way of record. It's really, really good for that. Love from across the pond asks, do you prefer playing outdoors or indoors concerts? Oh, it really depends. I mean, you know, outdoors, of course, it's during summer. Often the acoustic is hard. It depends, but it's not the most comfortable. So it really depends also of the repertories. For example, I played last month in Basilica, so like a big church. I played the Bach cello suites, and of course it was very comfortable because there is a big resonance, and if I had to play this 1 hour cello solo outside, I think it it would have been less comfortable. So, but it depends repertories, you know. Is there anything we have not discussed that you feel is vital to productive creative practice session? Let me check my notes, because I was trying to prepare. So I will do a resume about the question you asked me before. Since I don't have much time to work, I try to be very efficient and always start by working on slower things to warm up. And what I always work on first is really accuracy. Especially in the morning, I think the mind is fresher for working, and that's what I begin with. About inspiration, why you practice, what drives and motivates you. What motivates me to practice my cello is that I always feel the progress when I work. I have also noticed that I work better when I have less time, as I said, because for me it's difficult to maintain concentration for long periods. So I'm more efficient in short but intense sessions. That, of course, is very personal and depends on the individual. In any case, what also motivates me is the deadline for concerts. That's why I always try as much as possible to play in public, to have concert opportunities, because that's really what motivates me and what I love doing the most. What do you enjoy the most about practicing? What inspires you? I really enjoy working on either solo cello repertoire or concerto in my daily practice, because for me it's more difficult to work on a chamber music piece alone. I feel that working on those pieces is much more effective when I'm with the other members of the group. So if you have opportunity, for example, even if you have to practice duo with piano, if you have a nice pianist who is playing with you, try to, even if you're not ready immediately with the technical aspects, try to play as soon as possible in your practicing way with him or her, because it will give you more better idea about what you want to do together, about the musical aspects, the phrasing, etc. I also enjoy learning new repertoire or reworking pieces I have studied a long time ago, because naturally over the years you develop a different perspective and approach. For example, with the Bach suites that I recently played, I worked by doing a bit of research on another manuscript to find new inspiration and ideas. I think it's always interesting to explore and see how things can be done differently. The challenge is not to fall into a routine and avoid reworking pieces in the same way every time. Okay, I think I have said anything. Do you have one more question? I will be happy to answer.
Yeah, feel free to throw in a last minute question you'd like to ask, but we'll be wrapping up soon. But in the meantime, do you have any closing thoughts for everyone?
If I have what, sorry?
Do you have any closing thoughts about what we talked about today?
I think we talk a lot about the practicing and etc. If I want to say a last thing, maybe is to keep pleasure with music. I mean, of course there is hours of practicing technical aspects, but the goal is always to have something to say at the end, and it's something personal. And I think that we are musicians, we are very lucky to have the possibility to express ourselves and to share this, because of course we don't do that to stay alone in our room to practice and to play for ourselves. I think we do that because we want to share. We need to share. So keep this maybe in mind, and don't forget that to do things with love and to find always pleasure. And if you don't find it, it's maybe that you are in the wrong way of practicing, or maybe that you doing this concert that you really don't like, or always trying to find a positive way. I know it sounds a bit maybe like I don't know the word in English, but I mean, I really believe in that, in love in general.
All right, thank you so much. Just gonna wrap it up.
Thank you to everybody.